I've made a new equipment purchase and I want to talk about it today. I'm talking lighting. Why lighting on a video channel? Because cameras and lights go together like grapes and wine. You really can't have one without the other. And so I have made a brand new lighting upgrade to the Godox UL150. I'm talking about it today. You're gonna want to stick around.
This is how we do it.
What's up everybody, it's Shane here at Waiting to be Seen, and I want to welcome you to today's video. Couple of things. Strictly speaking, today's video, the plan was for it to be an unboxing, and I did. I went through the physical unboxing of this piece of kit about an hour and a half ago. As it turns out, the camera was left on manual focus because I'm a professional, right? I'm still going to talk about the light because I'm excited to have it. What is the light? It is this, absolute behemoth. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Godox UL150. If you have ever played with Godox, then you'll know that this looks quite a bit larger than some of the other Godox lights, particularly at the 150 to 200 watt range. The reason for that is because this is a silent LED fixture. And by silent, I do mean that. If I was to stand next to this Godox, which is the VL200 at the moment, that thing has a fan. And as soon as it starts to get over like 35, 36 degrees, the fan will kick in just to keep it at a cool, comfortable temperature while shooting. This, I've already tested it. It makes no noise. I'm gonna set it up for you just so you can see what it looks like in situ. But before I do, let me talk through some of the specifics of the fixture. Just be aware that if you're a YouTuber, this light in Australia, I bought this from KL, depending on where you can get it, it's gonna set you back like $600, $650. It's not cheap, and it's because it is designed to be silent. It's meant to be used on a set where, you know, shh is paramount. So I do corporate work, and that's where I'm going to be using this predominantly because, look, I'm shooting in tiny spaces, and to have a VL200 that has a fan whir up while you're trying to record a talking head interview, it's just not great. This for me is really, really good. So it was worth the expense, but I'm just letting you know it is an expensive piece of kit. And that doesn't take into account the extras that you may want to consider purchasing as well. In terms of power, this is what drives the unit. It is a remote control. And this is the cable. It is DC powered. This plugs into the transformer. The transformer then plugs into here through a 4-pin DMX style cable, and then DMX style cable out of the top and into the light fixture. It is remote controlled by this unit here. You power it on. There is group and channel effect. So if you happen to have other Godox lights, and I do have access to some, then you can have one of these little units and that will actually remotely control it. And I think that's brilliant. Fantastic little feature. Not essential, but fun to have nonetheless. And for the eagle-eyed observer, you'll see on the rear of this, there is actually a V-lock battery mount. So it can run off kind of DC power or V-mount batteries. How cool is that? The VL200, for example, I don't own it, but I have access to it. This is mains power only. This, different story, and I love that so much. Also, on top here, we've actually got two antennas. One is kind of like a wireless antenna. I'm pretty sure that is to enable it to communicate with the remote, so you can be a reasonable distance away from it. You don't have to be right next to it. The other one, it says in the instruction manual that it's a Bluetooth adapter. So I imagine that there is some kind of Godox app. I'll be honest, I haven't looked into this as yet, but that might be something that is usable in the future for me, that I could just use my phone. The light is only a single color. It is not bicolor. It is rated at 5600 Kelvin, so it's a daylight light fixture, and that is actually with plus or minus 200K. I think that's quite a large variance, but it's okay for me. It's still definitely within the realm of daylight. One of the things that is absolutely part of the reason I purchased this is the color rendering that it produces. So even if it's got a slight variance somewhere between 5400 to 5800 Kelvin, at whatever point that is in reality, the color rating index is 96, which is fantastic. And the TLCI, for those that might consider using this in a bit more of a broadcast space, it is 97. And so that is brilliant. Zero issues at all when it comes to the color rendering of the light fixture itself. Now, with that being said, I'm sure that you want to see this in action, in situ, as I said before. So let me pull over my Neewer C-stand. And for now, I'm just going to pop it in onto that because that's what I have. So let's go and grab it. By default, it comes with this U bracket. There aren't any other brackets in the box, unfortunately, if you were hoping to use something else. It does have the protector that comes with it on top of the unit. If I tilt this down a little bit, you'll see that there is a little yellow switch here. If you pull that switch up, you can then rotate and disengage whatever it is that's connected to the S-type Bowens mount. Single LED light source. It is bright. So when you put on, where is it? When you put on the reflector that comes with the unit, at 1 meter, this thing outputs at 58,000 lux. Let me just say that again for you. 58,000 lux in a unit that only uses 150 watts. In addition to having the reflector, which I will take out, I actually made the purchase of a diffuser, and it is a 70 centimeter diffuser. It is this piece of kit, and it actually comes with, if I take off the front here, actually comes with a egg crate. Okay, so the egg crate is really important. If you need to control light spill in a situation, then having some kind of egg crate actually helps to minimize the width of your beam. It just focuses it a little bit more directional. And the downside to that, of course, is that you're going to lose a few stops of light, maybe 1 stop of light, maybe more, depending on the kind of thing that you're using. Why I went with this particular diffuser is because it's actually, if I take this off, it's an umbrella style. So if I actually take off, if I undo these around the side for a minute, it gives me access here. And there is a little clip in the middle, which is every bit like an umbrella. And if I then slowly let that down, it then collapses in on itself. And I can then just very, very easily remove that. And I don't even have to actually, because it comes in its own carry case, it gives me the ability to just kind of pack it away. Even if it takes me 5 minutes to then set this back up when I'm working on a shoot. I have actually used other diffusers from Godox and from Neewer, to be honest, and every single one of these, shall I say, skeleton arms are manually attached. And when those skeleton arms are manually attached, man, it is a frustration. I can tell you now, it is not fun to have to spend 20 minutes, 25 minutes manually feeding in every single one of those arms. And look, in expanding it, I don't know if you can see, but only one of them has actually popped out. So I'll just, collapse it, pop that back in, push it back out, and then use the Velcro to connect it all. And then once I've got that all connected up like so, then with the Bowens mount, I pop that onto the front here, rotate that into place, tighten up that, and there you have it. A really lovely diffuser, and it has an internal diffuser, then it has the grid, and then it has the external diffuser. So depending on what I need, I can actually then remove the egg crate. If spill isn't an issue, I can perhaps move the internal diffuser and just have the diffuser on the front if I want. The reflector comes with it, but there is actually an adapter that Godox have, which is barn doors. That didn't come with this kit, and that's fine. I didn't expect it to, but just be aware that you can actually have barn doors. As a matter of fact, right, so that is the barn door attachment, and it actually comes with an egg crate attachment as well. So you can have the reflector, very, very bright, very wide beam, This can then help you to shape, of course, and then by having a little egg crate on the inside, it just helps to shape it that little bit more as well. Okay, I fixed up the skeleton, so I'm just going to attach the internals here. It's fairly straightforward. If you guys have used any kind of diffuser, whether it's an octagonal one or even just a rectangle softbox, the technology, if you wanted to call it that, is pretty much the same. It hasn't changed all that much really. So that is that. So that will give a nice little bit of diffusion. You guys want to see it? Happy to turn it on for you. That's why you're here. So first things first is to plug power into the transformer. That transformer, oh, there's a little bit of leftover plastic. That transformer then through the DMX style cable, 4-pin cable, then plugs into the base of the control unit. Now to turn it on, you can't just press on, it doesn't switch on. You need to press and hold. And I think that that's a really clever safety feature of the unit, just to make sure you don't accidentally bump it on or bump it off. So let's turn it on. Ta-da, that's it. 100%, but with a little bit of diffusion. And you can dial it down all the way down to 0. Now, let me just turn off my other light for a minute. All right, so I still need to light myself a little bit, but this is at 0%. One of the things that I have noticed about the unit is that there's a very tactile sensation as you clipped through each of the increments. It goes from 0% to 100%. It's not a smooth transition though. It is a very noticeable step up from each percentage point to the next percentage point. So unfortunately, it does mean that if you were going to be recording and you went, oh, the ambient room light has actually increased and I just need to decrease my Godox, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. You may not be able to do that on the fly, especially at the lower end. I mean, that's just 13%, and that's still, to me at least, very noticeably clicking up to the next brightness or down to the next brightness. So for those that are looking, they're going to notice. They're going to notice that something is off. Now, if I just push this up to 100%, it's very bright, and that's diffused. There is a group button, a group and channel button here, like other Godox lights, so you can daisy chain all of your Godox lights together and run them off this kind of remote control. So at the moment, for example, this is on A and channel 3. So let me see. Let's go A, that's correct, and channel 3. Let's change it to channel 3 and set that. So now I should, in theory, be able to turn it off and on using the remote. That's pretty neat. Interestingly, so this will only go down to 10%, whereas the light itself does actually manually go down to 0%. Just something you may need to keep in mind if you plan on using this in conjunction with other lights. And with that, I think that I'm all done for today. This is what I wanted to share with you. I am excited to have this as part of my lighting kit available for all the kind of corporate shoots that I do. Again, because of the price point, I don't know if it's going to be fit for purpose for YouTubers. If coin isn't an issue for you, you're probably going to find this is a really good light because it doesn't generate any noise. And you know, when we're talking and we're sitting down and we're having a chat to a camera, noise is an important factor. So that is something to consider. The diffuser is an additional purchase. And another interesting thing that you'll probably want to know, the light doesn't come with a carry case. It just comes as it is in the box, and that's it. So I also actually had to purchase a specific carry case. That's it. That's my video for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm pleased that this light is in my kit, and I'm pleased that you have made it to this point so far. If you've enjoyed today's video and just my basic breakdown of this light, then give me a thumbs up down below to let me know. And if you think that other content at Waiting to Be Seen might be of use to you, talking through products like this, talking through tips, tricks, genuine unboxings, reviews, all of that kind of stuff is what I am creating on a fairly regular basis, and I'd love to have you on board for the journey. So you guys know how to do that, right? You just have to click on YouTube's big old red subscribe button down below. Click on the notification bell right alongside that, and YouTube, they are going to do the rest. They will let you know as soon as my latest content is available. And on that note, I am all done for today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by. Have a fantastic Friday, have a fantastic weekend, and may the week to come be so full of the good stuff that you just have to share it with me and leave a comment down below. This has been Shane, waiting to be seen. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you for the next video. Bye, guys.
That's gonna leave a mark.
What?